We are almost close to
Mine says it's happening.
it's happening.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is happening. We're here. So let me just share this on my page. You guys are welcome to share it if you want on your page. Welcome everyone. We are here. It is time for Breaking Bread with Kwame Alexander. This is a monthly sort of thing we do where we talk about some of the amazing books that are being published. We talk about some of the amazing authors and illustrators who are creating these books. And this is, I think, our second or our third one. So let me just get started with this. As you can see, it's a special occasion. It's Breaking Bread, the special edition, because we got a book launch happening. Yes, book launch is like book party, meaning we got a new book that's out from Versify, the imprint that I curate at Houghton Mifflin Books for Younger Readers. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, people of Earth and other places, we're proud to announce the release day of the debut picture book by the creative team of Vivian McInerny. Her last name rhymes with Bert and Ernie. And Ken Lamug.
You got it.
I got it. The book is called The Whole Story. Woo! Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Well done. I'm drinking sparkling water, parents. Don't worry. I don't know what Vivian's drinking.
Water.
Water.
Yeah,
Ken,
I'm good.
You got tea, Ken?
Juice.
Juice. Cool.
Yeah.
This is kids friendly. We create kids books, people. Come on. Let me just make sure I think we're all on Facebook. Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
We're all there. Okay, so by way of introduction, she is a fish trap fellow. I have no idea what that is, but we're gonna find out.
It's very impressive.
She literally just got off the road from visiting a friend. She has a beautiful bookcase behind her.
I do.
She's an accomplished fiction writer. She apparently was a fashion ambassador for some state.
Yes, in my dirty past, I wrote about fashion.
Really?
I did for a long time for a newspaper. It was very fun.
Vivian McInerny is the author of The Whole Story, which is such a beautiful book, y'all. It's such a beautiful book. By way of introduction, he is a dabbler. He is a rabble boy.
That's me.
He's a graphic designer. He apparently is a beekeeper.
I used to be.
What?
Beekeeper,
and get this, people. He was a race car driver.
Wow.
For a little bit. My wife says no more. It's expensive.
He's the illustrator of The Whole Story.
Yay.
Illustration, all these beautiful words. Ken, welcome to Breaking Bread.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you, Vivian. I'm thankful for everybody who's joined us today, and I'm excited. I'm pumped.
So look, let's just get right into this. This is a story. It's a can-do story. It's a make a yes out of no story. It's the house may be burning down, but I can see the moon story.
Yeah, I was interested in writing a story that was just about imagination, stretching your imagination, because I wasn't into like a moral tale or anything, just something that would stretch the imagination. And I was that kind of kid. You know, when I was a kid, the biggest thing I would play was Let's Pretend. And I swear I spent one whole summer playing Let's Pretend with two friends, where we sat in those like cheap aluminum lounge chairs, you know, with the strappy plastic things. And we pretended we had been shipwrecked and we were on lifeboats. And we played this for days on end until I looked out at the grass and I swore I saw like waves. And bear in mind, I grew up in the Midwest. I had never actually seen the ocean. But I can tell you, when I finally did see the ocean, I had pretty good imagination. My imagination was pretty authentic. Those waves were real.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was what interested me, is just writing a story like that. Everybody has an imagination. You know, if I was writing about bicycles, not everyone has a bike. But this was just something we all have access to imagine. And in the story, the little girl, Zeal, has a hole in her pocket, and she imagines all the things this hole can do.
Okay. No.
No, sorry.
Let's just read some of it.
Oh, okay.
So how about this? Let's do round robin. Give everybody a taste of the whole story.
Okay.
And you read the first spread, Vivian. Ken reads the second spread. I'll read the third spread, and we'll give them a little taste.
Okay. Here is, I love this picture. The whole story. Zeal had a hole in her pocket. That didn't stop her from stuffing small things in it, such as gumballs, sparkly rocks, and jumpy frogs. Sometimes they stayed, sometimes they fell through and got lost. Zeal paid no attention. The hole in her pocket grew bigger and bigger, until one day Zeal herself fell right through it. This, of course, was rather peculiar.
All right, Ken, your turn. Ken, keep the flow going.
Zia might have been afraid, except that this was an imaginary hole. So it could only be as scary as she allowed, which was, in this case, not scary at all. I hate scary stories, said Zia. She sat quietly at the bottom, where holes and thoughts run deep, and considered what to do with such an obviously wonderful hole. The best ideas usually came to her when she went fishing. A fishing hole is just what I needed, Zia decided.
She filled the hole with water from the garden hose. She found her fishing pole, convinced a wiggly worm, great alliteration there, Vivian, to sit on the hook as baited, and waited. After some time, she felt a nibble. Zia reeled in a fat fish with bulgy eyes and fancy fins. The fish smiled a fish lip smile. A fish lip smile, that's kind of cool. Can you make a fish lip smile, Vivian?
I'm expert at it, apparently.
The only thing better than catching a fish, as far as Zia was concerned, was letting a fish go. The fish flipped a fin in, thanks, which was polite but rather drippy. That's it, y'all. We're not giving y'all anymore. That is so cool. I gotta tell you, when I first read this manuscript, I was like, this is beautiful. This is whimsical. There's a lesson here. There's imagination. This is just all the stuff that I want to do at Versify. I want to publish good books that help kids imagine the world. And you guys just did it. I mean,
You didn't even get to the good parts in the book.
I know. There's like so many good parts, but the illustrations, they just jump off the page, Ken. Like, I'm
Thank
curious.
you.
So I'm curious, Like, what was your process like? Tell me how you imagined this.
Yeah, well, I'm a very collaborative person, so I don't take credit for the whole thing. I was working with a lot of the team at Versify, and kind of just working ideas back and forth. I think the biggest question mark for me in the beginning was trying to figure out what this hole looks like, because like, how do you draw a hole and have stuff come out of it, and make it look exciting, and this whole thing. So that was the biggest thing for me. And I think we really accomplished that, because the whole kind of transforms, throughout this whole story, and gives Zeal all these cool stuff. So as she imagines coming out of it. So yeah, that was the biggest thing. But I think part of it is just how Vivian wrote the story and how it inspires you as the writer or as the artist to just, come up with all this cool stuff. So,
Go ahead, Vivian.
I loved one thing Ken did, couple things he did that just really, I especially loved. One was bending the type. So the words themselves are sort of animated. And the other thing I loved is when Zia digs a hole to the other side of the world, spoiler alert. And as she's digging through the earth, Ken put in these little secrets to find, which I just love. It's like a pirate's treasure chest, and I think bones, dinosaur bones, and just it's very clever and really fun. It's wonderful to see how you brought it to life.
You can really tell a fine illustrator when they add to the story.
Exactly.
Create another story within the story. Here's this one thing you all did that really just rocked my world. I don't know how you did this, Ken. Like, I want to know how you came up with this. Vivian wrote, she lifted the hole, tipped it onto its side, and rolled it down the street, whacking it along with a stick.
Right.
And so she's whacking the hole along with the stick. The hole is rolling. The hole is rolling. The hole is rolling.
I know, right?
It rolled along quickly until she came to the bottom of a steep hill. And then, here it is. Then, okay, you imagine if you're rolling it down the hill and then you're rolling it up the hill.
Right.
Eventually, it's going to come back down.
Yeah.
So the hole rolled backward and it fell right on top of her. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, how in the heck is she going to draw the hole on top of her? That didn't even, I can't compute that. That's like physics.
I know.
I'm not going to show it to you all because you got to see it. But how did you come up with this? Like, how did you figure that out?
Just to add to that, just remember in the previous scene, she had a hole that came out of the previous hole. So there's two holes. This is like time travel. I don't even know how you talk about this.
This is like a Christopher Nolan film.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I think we need somebody to write a cool, critique of this and how complex it is and how we've really put a lot of thought into it. And
yeah, it's really magnificent. So,
well, I think the beautiful part of this is when kids see this and read it, they'll totally get it. It'll make sense to them as adults. You'll be like, okay, that doesn't really make sense right now to me. But, when kids read it, they'll just totally get it.
Oops. Okay. Oops. I got it playing on Facebook and it's a little delayed. I'm trying to get questions. Okay, there we go. All right, I think. Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so.
Technology.
Welcome to technology, to the land of Zoom. If you're just tuning in, this is Breaking Bread with Kwame Alexander and my friends, Vivian McInerny and Ken, a former filmmaker. Okay, by the way, Ken, you make movies.
I used to. These are all my former lives.
Got it.
Like I said, I'm a professional dabbler, so I dabble in a lot of different things.
I love it. You make movies, and Vivian has pursued stories with CEOs.
When I was a journalist, I wrote a little bit of everything. So I wrote features, which is really all about storytelling. It's not the hard news, which is the who, what, when, where, why in the first paragraph, and you get all the, the feature stories are more storytelling. So I had the luxury of being able to be creative in the writing, and then also just got the chance to do some amazing things. Like I got to go into the operating room with a heart surgeon, which was terrifying to me. I'm not particularly good with blood. And the patient was right there with the chest wide open. And I've also done a lot of stories on like interesting people in the community of Portland, Oregon, where I live. And then I also covered fashion for the daily newspaper here. And so that meant going to New York twice a year and going to the fashion shows, which now a lot of people know from all the crazy movies like Devil Wears Prada and all that. And it was wild. And I'm really glad I had the chance to do it and met so many celebrities. I talked to Beyonce. It was so early on. I was like, how do you spell that? She was very young. It's just kind of everyone. They would be on the sides of the runway, and designers would ask celebrities to come to their shows to draw attention to their shows, and then the media would get to go walk along and ask them a question or two. So it was lots of fun.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but apparently Ken has a little fashionista in him.
His hat.
His hat. He designed this hat. It's a whole hat.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. Wait a minute. Really, I need my glasses.
I pulled my arts and crafts toolbox.
That's great.
Let's get serious for 1 second. Just 1 second. There's a lot going on in the world. A lot that ain't good. I try to keep my daughter focused on the joys, on the hope, because I don't want to, raise a kid who's going through life feeling like this world sucks and there's nothing I can do about it and it's never going to be better. But sometimes I wake up feeling like that. With everything that's happening with, in America, with, post-election and this most recent, affront to our democracy. What do you think our role is as children's book creators? What is our responsibility, if any, Ken?
I think you nailed it on the head, giving hope to, kids, to teachers, to parents. And I know they look up on authors and illustrators as well. So I think, giving that hope, giving them an outlet for either entertainment, education, and connecting. Like I'm part of a book community here in Las Vegas, and we get together and we share stories. And, it's that moment in time where everything pauses and you get to be with friends and family and, that kind of thing. So I think it starts with our community is the most important thing. I think start local, I guess, as they would say, because those are the people that you can touch right away and, give your positive feelings to. So, and, share your moments with. So I don't have a grand vision of trying to change the world right away, because I think it starts within yourself, starts within the people in your life. So that's how I do it. And hopefully that feeds into my work too, that positivity, that creativity, the imagination. And when they read the books, it makes them happy,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like the role of creative people right now is to create, and we won't even always know what is coming out of this through us until it's there. But these are crazy times. I feel like I live in a Dickens novel. It's like, this was the worst of times. This was the best of times. And there's some saying of, it's like a curse, may you live in interesting times. And I think, these are interesting times. It's a terrible time. But I think being creative is a joy in itself. And I believe in a way that all spreads out in a good way.
Words and pictures are our weapons.
Yeah.
Are our tools.
Yeah.
For us to dig a hole into a new world. We're gonna
Yeah.
dream a new world together.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I love the role of books. When I was a kid, one of my favorite memories was the first time I was taken to a library, public library, when I was 5. And I was the 4th of 6 kids. And my mom was like, take all the books you want. And I was like, all right. And I responded like this greedy game show contestant. So I swept all the books off one shelf and grabbed them and ran up to the librarian, who looked panic stricken. And then the librarian suggested to my mom that maybe we each only take 5 books, because otherwise she might lose track of them, and library fines add up. So, and I remember just being so mad at that librarian. I'm like, I knew it was too good to be true, all the books in the world. But she ended up helping me like put away some books, get some others, and I ended up with 5 classics. It was, my first time to the library, and I ended up with Harold and his Purple Crayon, Madeline, Babar, and I can't remember, a couple others. And the Harold and his Purple Crayon was just all about imagination. And that's where he draws things, and then he walks into the pictures basically and interacts with what he draws. And I remember as a kid, the end is where Harold goes to bed and he draws up the covers. And I got the joke at age 5, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. And the other funny thing is, I remember my sister were like in the back of the Chevy driving back home, and my sister was reading me Babar. And on that book, there's one where the elephant goes and gets his picture taken by a photographer. And I remember debating with my sister, really like hardcore debate, like whether or not this was a photograph or this was an illustration. And I was like, it is a photograph. The book says it's a photograph, but spoiler alert, it is an illustration of a photograph. But I guess books meant so much to me as a kid. And that's what, that was what I was interested in doing, is reaching into that little bit of magic that kids feel with books.
It seems like Zia is a distant relative of Harold.
Maybe so. Yeah, I was really incredibly honored when the editor, Erica, picked
Erica Turner. Shout out to Erica Turner.
Erica Turner, God bless her. She found this book and liked it, and she said it reminds us of Harold and his Purple Crayon. I'm like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what that book means to me. So, but I wasn't like specifically looking like, why don't I do that kind of book? It's just that is so much a part of my memory from childhood in books. Anyway.
Breaking Bread is a Versify, event. It's an opportunity for us to showcase our books and our amazing authors, but it's also a food show. Like, we're doing food. So the idea was, let's find a dish, a recipe that is related and connected to the book that we're talking about. And so we decided that this particular episode of Breaking Bread, we have some pie. Before we taste our pie, can you tell us why we're eating pie, Vivian?
Oh, at one point when Zia is at the bottom of this muddy hole, she makes mud pies. So she makes multiple pies. It tastes nothing. Yes.
Yeah.
Vivian's not doing the best job setting that up, but read her book and you'll see. It's really amazing. It's amazing. All right, so Vivian, what kind of pie are you eating?
I am eating a Marionberry Pie because I live in Portland, Oregon, which is just rich with berries. And there is this island on the Columbia River, about a half an hour from where I live. And you can drive, there's a bridge to the island, and you can pick berries and make the most incredible pies. But I bought this one. I wanted to make sure it was good. My pies are not.
We got to see it. Show it to us.
They're kind of like blackberries, but they're bigger and more tart.
Nice.
Really fun.
Ken, what are you eating?
I have cherry pie because I've never had cherry pie before. So it's first time trying it. We'll see how it
Wow.
goes.
We got to see it, Ken.
Yeah.
You have to say, I cannot tell a lie.
Whoa, Ken got a big pie. I love it.
Oh, my kids love cherry, so this will be gone by tonight.
And I have got a Mississippi mud pie,
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
which I purchased at a local shop. So we're gonna each taste a little bit of our pie while I go and get a couple questions from Facebook.
Okay.
So you guys are tasting it.
Yeah. Let me know if I have berries in my teeth after.
Ooh, yummy.
Pretty good.
Yummy, yummy.
Mm.
A little tart. Is that how it's supposed to be?
This is good. Oh, wow. That's rich.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need some water.
It's better than I thought.
I need some water. Okay, let's see what we got here. Morgan Strand says no apple pie.
I was thinking about that. That would have been perfect with ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Warm it up.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
We're more out there on the pie side.
Jennifer Snidecki says, do we all deliver? Do we deliver? She wants a piece. I know. Wanda Jenkins wants to know, what age group is this book written for?
I believe it's like 3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Yeah, but I would think a 7 or 8-year-old.
7, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think of picture books often as being read by the parent to the child. And I think this book has enough wordplay in it to keep the adults entertained too. It's got some humor in there that I think works on all levels. And then the pictures are going to enthrall the kids. Yeah.
Cool. Are there any more collaborations in the works between you two?
Funny you should
Ooh.
ask. I am just finishing up another Zia story, which has a similar, like, completely imaginative craziness. And I like it, so I'll have to see whether my editor likes it. That I think works on all levels. Oh, a little feedback. Yes. So yes, I've got that in the works. Then I've got a couple other picture books in the works that have a very different feel to them.
There we go. That's better.
Okay.
Ken, India Morgan wants to know, how did you imagine what Zia was gonna look like? Yes, I wanted to do too.
I was looking at this actually yesterday because I was like trying to figure out like how many designs did I do. I did 28 different character designs for Zia.
Whoa.
Yeah. So generally, I think the look kind of looked the same from beginning to end. There was one that I was really strongly, falling in love with as far as the character. But yeah, I went through 28 different designs, and this is how we came up with Zia. So, and I think she's totally adorable.
I do. She's so cute.
Yeah.
And it was fun watching his process, and he'd show us what he was working on, and it's
and I think one of the things that I really like about Zia's personality in the book is her movement. She's just has this playful, every movement that she does, like it's almost like a dance from page to page. So.
Well, last question. What are you working on next, Ken? What's the next thing we can expect?
Ooh, personal project that I have is a graphic novel coming out this summer. Wow. Yep. So watch out for that. It's called Mischief and Mayhem.
Very neat.
What age is that for?
This one is middle grade. So that age group. Yep. It'll be hilarious.
And Vivian, what do you have coming out?
Yeah, the picture books I was talking about, I've got 3 in the works. And then I also have a young adult novel that I think has real potential, and I'm hopeful that will get picked up. I've been working on it about 4 years, and just recently sent it off. So
Very cool.
Yes.
Well, look, I can't thank you all enough for joining me this evening to celebrate the whole story. I'm so proud of this book. I'm so proud that Versify was given the chance to publish it. I hope we did a good job by you. I just feel so great about the story, and it really speaks to my heart. On behalf of Margaret Ramo and Wesley Turner and Sierra and everyone at Versify and Houghton Mifflin, and of course our friend Erica Turner who found this book, I just thank you all for trusting us with your vision. I thank each of you who's been watching us today on Facebook Live. Go out and don't buy this book. Buy 2 copies of it.
Oh, good.
Right? Buy 2 copies of it. One for you and one for a Zia in your life who's trying to imagine the world and imagine the world that they can live in. And it's a better world than we are gonna leave them with. It's a better world than we got now. We're gonna give them not just part of the story. We're gonna give them the whole
story.
Very
Thank
well.
you so much. Vivian, thank you. Thank you so much. Kid.
Really, that was fun. Thanks.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. We leave.